Hey everyone, today I am here with Trey Mitchell in Long Beach at a recent closing. This is 6 units at 908 Roswell, and the point of this video is to discuss how Trey and I have helped a 1031 exchange buyer acquire over $17 million worth of multifamily real estate here in 2023. We are closing, this is the 4th building that you've closed for this investor, and the 5th one is closing tomorrow. So we just want to walk through the property, talk with Trey about we are helping this investor with a significant purchase requirement, and go through all the details. Yeah. So let's walk on through, let's check out this property, and let's talk about the exchange.
Yeah.
So Trey, tell us about Roswell. What do we got here? We got a 6-unit building.
Yeah, so we got a 6-unit building built in 1960. Something that's really solid about this deal is the location. We're on the east side of Long Beach, not far from Traffic Circle, very close proximity to Cal State Long Beach. Really an ideal location to achieve, strong rents in a market with also an ideal tenant profile for what the investor was looking for within the portfolio.
Yeah, so you selected this property. I mean, you're helping this investor on every step of the way, acquiring buildings. What attracted you to this outside of some of those items? Was it also the seller carried the financing as well?
Yeah, I would definitely say the seller financing was incredible, and it was something that we couldn't turn a blind eye to. When you're getting 5% interest only in this market today, that's almost, at certain times, it was almost a 2-point difference between what lenders are offering. And then with the attractive LTV at around 52%, and again, going back to that interest only for 2 years, it was hard for him to say no. We're kind of taking a little bit of a gamble, hoping in 2 years' time the market's going to improve, and he can refi out, which he will be able to with how well this property is located and the upside that's there. So he'll be able to get out of it. But if we could have an improved market, he could even gain more equity, be able to put more cash in his pocket when he goes to refi.
Got it. So when you acquired this property, how many vacancies were there?
There was 2 vacancies total, and he just got another one. So there's 3 total vacancies, and then 3 currently occupied.
Okay. Let's go take a look at unit 3 here. This is a renovated unit?
Yep. This is a finished unit, renovated. It's on the market right now for $2,495 with a $1,000 month credit to a tenant if they lease it before the beginning of December.
This is a nice little reno on the kitchen. Mm-hmm. Smaller kitchen, but you've got this kind of open area where it kind of flows through to the living room. No popcorn.
Nope, no popcorn. Clean bathroom.
Okay.
I kind of like the carpets. I like the carpets in these bedrooms, and especially in this location.
You like carpet?
Yeah, depending on the tenant profile, and again, the tenant profile is going to be ideal in this market for Long Beach, and I think people would be willing to pay a premium for something like this.
Okay.
Especially again in this location on east side. But if we were in another market like North Long Beach, maybe I would say, hey, let's go, vinyl plank flooring throughout the whole unit.
So you got another bathroom right here.
Correct. Yep.
It's kind of
that's another ideal thing with this building, Dan, is the unit mix is incredibly attractive. You have a couple 3 bedrooms and also 2 bedrooms, and then even you have a unit that's townhome style with an attached garage.
Got the panel.
Yeah, the seller was willing to credit the buyer to allow him to come in and do the needed repairs to the electrical panels, which is very common in today's market with insurance issues. Mm-hmm. So during escrow, we were able to negotiate a credit and the ability for the buyer to come in and make the needed repairs while we were in escrow.
Gotcha. So this has been a great little purchase, great location, nice bite-sized deal, owner carry. It makes sense for the exchange buyer to acquire something like this, but kind of talk about how we got involved with a significant purchase requirement, how we got involved with the client, and then how you've gone through and helped him acquire these assets.
Yeah, well, we got aligned with this buyer through a strategic relationship within our company. He was selling a down leg that was out in Torrance, and he was really keen and wanting to get into multifamily. So us being the multifamily specialist within CBRE for Southern California, they gave us a call and asked and filled us in on the requirement. And there quickly after started connecting with the client and really narrowed down what he's ultimately looking to achieve in the short and long term with his real estate investments. And here we are today in 908 Roswell.
Gotcha. Okay. And then talk about some of the other assets you've helped him acquire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we, after tomorrow, the 5th building will be closing escrow. So that's, again, a total of $17 million of real estate that we're purchasing. He was very focused on wanting to be in close proximity to his home out in the Torrance area, where in the beginning we were focusing on Torrance, but also he was looking for some high yield going in day one. And really, in this marketplace, it's been tough to find those deals.
Right.
But with the ability to go in and exclusively represent him on the buy side, we were able to go and talk to the marketplace like not many other people can with an exchange buyer. Reason being is because, again, we had the exclusive representation. And with that, they gave them confidence to start showing us multiple deals, both on and off market, whether it was directly from a seller or from another agent, which we happened to have take place in a couple purchases that we made this year also. But really, we went down with a fine-tooth comb in the marketplace and saw, okay, what buildings should you be purchasing? Which narrowed us into Class C, smaller real estate, under 20 or so units. We didn't want to put them into something too big, but we got a deal in Torrance that was turnkey, great ADUs. It's a really good, solid anchor property. And then we brought them into Long Beach, where you can get higher going in cap rates, and then also a market that, depending on what you're looking for, you can be a little bit more opportunistic, like the deal that we bought on Daisy, which is 16 units, right. And another 16 units that we're closing on tomorrow in North Long Beach. And then also you could look at a building like 908 Roswell, where it's a pretty safe play from a 30,000 foot view when you're looking at all investments that are being made in Long Beach, but it also gives you the opportunity to achieve some upside and reap the benefits when you go to potentially refi or look to do another exchange.
So as you can tell, when we were talking with Trey, he has spent a lot of time and consideration helping this investor make these purchases. Any assignment, large or small, is very significant to us. We take it all very seriously. And I can vouch for Trey. You have analyzed the entire market, every property on the market, Long Beach, outside of Long Beach, within Orange County, to right size the properties for the client that match their needs. You've probably sized 50, 60 buildings.
Yeah, and really not going too much into the weeds on the situation, but we also, had a second where we were looking at triple nets. And when we looked at that and the debt that you can achieve on that side of the fence in real estate, for lack of better words, it ended up not being that attractive. No matter how safe it may be and how easy that side of investment can be in just terms of passive ownership. But really, a lot of signs continue to point back to Long Beach and other pockets within South Bay and LA County.
I hear you. Well, let's take a look at the other unit. Yeah, there's an unfinished unit. All right, let's go take a look. Townhouse unit that we're going to go look at?
Yeah, so this is very rare in Long Beach. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome unit. It's got a really big floor plan downstairs with an attached garage, and then really nice cozy bedrooms upstairs. And right now, obviously, they're doing work. But yeah, this is a gutted unit and really good size. I mean, wait till you see the kitchen.
This is great.
Bathroom.
Got a little half bath there.
Yep.
Is there washer dryer hookups in this one?
No washer and dryers. So there is a laundry room that's on the facility with a washer and a dryer, coin operated. Potentially, the buyer might be putting a washer and dryer into this unit because it's something so large, and hopefully going to be able to achieve, a large family that's looking to pay a premium in the marketplace.
So they did windows and sliders, but not all throughout?
Correct.
Windows haven't been done.
Yep. Okay. The roof's in great condition. That was recently done. And then also, as I mentioned, in escrow, we had to repair the electrical panels to, check off the box for insurance.
Well, that has been something we've done on a majority of buildings here in 2023.
Yeah, that's something that's very common in the marketplace today. And then this attached garage.
Wow, direct garage access.
Yep. Just touching on the garage conversion ADU play that's here also. I think that's something that's attractive. On this particular asset, I don't think we're going to run and do it immediately, but there are a few others within the portfolio that we're going to go do right off the bat. I actually think, which is in the process right now, we're getting permits for. But that's another attractive, option for investors. And especially, if you're going to look at purchases, you can look at certain situations and, reap the benefits of a garage conversion.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, we've seen the ADUs be the value add really in the marketplace, and it can make sense where the garages, if you're converting them, there's just not functionally usable for a car. Yeah. So we're seeing those become popular and the cost benefit there, or new construction ADUs as well.
Absolutely.
Next, we'll have to do a video on an ADU. If you go to put one in one of these properties, we'll have to do another video on this.
So I think something too that's interesting to talk about is just the deal struggles that we had to go through in the process of purchasing 5 buildings for a buyer. Obviously, you and I both know that right now insurance is tough to come by for purchases. It's difficult for lenders to be underwriting right now. They're constantly changing the way that they're looking at deals today, and they're being very tedious on the condition of the asset. Vintage, they're definitely looking at vintage in Long Beach far more than they are in other markets, just because it's so common to have buildings built before 1960. So again, in particular this asset, we had to come in during escrow and repair the electrical panels and the sub panels. Thankfully, we didn't have to do anything with plumbing here. But those are things that insurance is looking for. And they're looking for it not to, continue the relationship, but they're literally looking for it
a reason to not.
A reason to not, and to not give you a policy, which is causing a lot of issues in the marketplace. And it's causing, on top of what we're taking place in the interest rate environment and all that kind of stuff that's affecting pricing, obviously, insurance issues are affecting pricing too, in the way that lenders are looking at deals and how they're underwriting them.
Right. That is all true, and that's the reality we're faced, but we're still getting deals done. We're going to wrap up probably, this is maybe our 35th closing for the year, and great job just being diligent, especially educating the buyer. We got to educate sellers. Some sellers are like, well, why is it my problem? It's a buyer's problem, but if the buyer can't get insurance, it becomes a seller's challenge. So we all got to lean in and make these transactions happen. But with the insurance side, we've got some really good relationships. We've done some videos on the insurance side where we've gotten some people to come in and lean in and provide insurance. And the one on South that you're closing tomorrow, that building's, what's the vintage? It's 100 years old or
that
just shy of?
That one was built in the 50s, but it's just the condition of the asset. I mean, North Long Beach is a market that's notorious for being a little bit more tired, for lack of better words, in comparison to maybe some assets in East Side. But you're getting a far higher yield up there. I mean, we're going into East South Street at a high 5 cap, and he's going to be able to stable that thing almost in a 7.5, 8 cap. But with that said, there is a lot of issues that can potentially come with that building, just in regards to the condition and the vintage. And insurance, again, was very, very, very stringent on that deal. And we had to do a lot of hand-holding to make sure that we can get a policy in place and allow the lender to fund the deal today, actually, and then close tomorrow.
Yep, I got it mixed up with Third.
No, you're good.
Third's 23 construction. But I mean, one of the properties, that just reminds me, one of the properties that we closed this year, there was a pool. Insurance companies don't like pools. There was no gate around the pool. We thought that was going to be really challenging and be a deal breaker. We ended up getting insurance for the buyer with no pool. It was a condition after close. So it can be done. If there's any challenging assets with insurance requirements, we're happy to take on the assignment.
And I mean, a point too is yes, it definitely can be done, but it's also important to get it done with guys like us that are in the marketplace. And even credit to some of our other competitors that are, in the marketplace just like we are. I would highly recommend that if anybody's going to transact real estate now and in the future, you're strategically aligning yourself with somebody that is in the marketplace like us. Because really, the market is changing on a day-by-day basis, where maybe, back in 2019, you could sit back, relax, and you kind of know what you're going to get yourself into. But now it's,
it's changing.
Yeah, it's changing rapidly.
That's one of the benefits that we are doing more closings. You're frequently closing building after building after building, so you're seeing more of the change right away versus if you were transacting one building every 3 months.
And I mean, it even came up in a pretty big meeting that we had a couple days ago in regards to how many deals we're doing a month, which is around 3 to 4, I think, a month as a team. And that gives us the ability to do something that not other agents can do, is be transacting in the marketplace on a day-to-day basis. And that's something that not many agents get the opportunity to do like we do.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we don't want to pound our chest at all, but we definitely want to talk about that is a reality.
Because it's serious.
Who you work with matters. It does matter. We're leaning in deeply in this market and getting through all the challenges.
And we're the same thing as principals. We're not representing our own deals all the time. We have to utilize strategic relationships within the broker community too.
Absolutely. That's right. I mean, back in 2020 or 2021, you put a listing out and you'd have buyers chasing you. Now you have to rely on the relationships within the community. So we definitely, shout out to all the brokers we've worked with this year.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much a wrap on The $17 million exchange requirement that Trey has successfully completed. Last building to close is tomorrow. We walked through this Roswell property. If you're in the market, if you're thinking about possibly acquiring a building, repositioning an asset, selling a property, if you're in the market, reach out to Trey, reach out to myself. We're here and happy to help.
Yep.
All right, thanks again, Trey.
Yep.
Appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.